going to pull my catalog in over here. Oh, wait, I was going to show you some more cards. Oh, well. We're going to get started with this, and then I'll show more cards again later. Hi, Sylvie. This is the Extraordinary Floral Bundle. So this is the bundle. It's the stamp set, which is this, and the die that coordinates with it. And the die only has this one die. But I'm going to find myself using that a lot because it's really cool. And then it has some washi tape that coordinates with it. And so this is the roll of washi tape. It's 3 3¼ inches wide by 10 yards. So that's a lot of washi tape on a roll. And I did print out, so this is on the online, in the online store, and it tells you what colors coordinate with this. So it has like, well, I'll show you, but it has like a side that's pinks and reds and then a side that's purples and blues. All right, so this is what we're using tonight. And I'm kind of chuckling because I'm seeing lots of demonstrators showing it this week because we're getting it. Sorry, I had to take a drink. Just before I came on, I started to feel like I'm coming down with a cold, but I think it's probably allergies, but luckily I'm home alone with my dog and not around anybody, so you guys won't get sick. Can't do that. All right, I'm going to quick show my tutorial. So this is the tutorial for this month, and it uses the Impressions of Bloom suite. So if you place an order with me this month, you will get the tutorial for free with any size order. And if you place an order over $50, you will get a packet of supplies to make the cards that I've made. However, you don't get the stamp set or the cutouts. That you have to buy the bundle if you want to do it exactly like I do. But you get all the pieces of cardstock. And you'll notice this has a lot. So these are the cards. This one is Misty Moonlight, Fresh Freesia, and Pool Party. I think it's Pool Party. Like this one, Fleur de Flamingo. It's got those great little new embellishments in there. This paper is gorgeous. This is one that you open up. Little bifold card. I love this oval frame and oval. I've used that a lot. And then, of course, sunflowers. So that is the tutorial, but I want to show you the cards for my kit. Now, this month's club, May's club, is closed. It's already been processed, and I'm already in the process of putting the kits together, but I got to show you the cards because they turned out, I think, so cool, and I used the same set. So I still use the Impressions of Bloom. But you'll see on this one, they're always stepped up. My monthly club cards are always a step up. They get to make 2 of each card, and they get like $25 worth of products. So this particular club got a roll of the ribbon, a pack of embellishments, and a half a pack of the 12 by 12 paper. Plus sponge daubers and all the cardstock cut and scored and ready to go. For 2 cards each. So they get to make 2 of each. So this one uses the Impressions of Bloom, and it also uses the embossing folder that coordinates with that. But look how pretty that is embossed on the inside of that card. I love that. This one was kind of fun. This was all done with white cardstock and some sponge daubers and some ink. But it turned out really pretty. Again, Fresh Freesia. Imagine that. All right, this one is a fun fold. You can see where it flips over here and has some little designer series paper. I love that one. This one was one of my favorites, and this card is really cool. So I'm just going to pull this ribbon off, and when I open this up, it'll be a burst of flowers. So pretty. Easy to make, too. All right, so those are the club cards. So let's get to the stamp set, the dies, and the washi tape. So I put on a little piece of, this is like a little wax from the mini glue dots to hold that. But you know, it's super easy. It's super easy to get the end, and this is pretty tough. Washi tape's pretty tough. So you can do a lot with it. All right, so we're gonna start with a couple of things I'm gonna show you. So the washi tape, when you pull this off, and pull it out, and it's really sticky. All right, so you will see there's kind of a definition, a line right here. So this is the side that's the pinks and the pinks and the greens and yellows. And then when you pull out the next strip, you can see it changes to the purples and the blues. And then it repeats itself. So yeah, you get some, it's really fun with lots of different colors. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead. The first thing I did was tried it on my Big Shot, or my Stampin' and Cut Emboss machine. And I just attached the washi tape to the clear plate. And then lined this up, ran it through, and it was great. I loved it. However, then my plate was stuck with all these stickers, and they come off. But I had to use them right away before I could cut more. And so what I found myself doing was putting it onto cardstock or wax paper or cellophane or window sheets. You could attach washi tape to anything and put it through your machine. And what I liked about that was that then they came out like, I'm going to show you on the white cardstock, but I'll show you how I did it. So then they come out as a bunch of little embellishments. They have white cardstock on the back of them. One of the things it does, washi tape is kind of see-through, so the white makes it really pop, makes the colors pop. And I also did it on Sahara Sand, which just gave it a little different look, a little bit muted. I don't know, these aren't even the same colors, but you can see that the Sahara Sand is tan as opposed to bright white. So you can put it on any cardstock and you'll be fine. Let me show you the card that I made. So this was the card that I made using the washi tape directly from the Cut and Emboss machine plate. And I don't know if you can see, but I stamped the Sahara Sand with the Versamark to just do a little bit of a background. I will show that tonight. And then I just attached 2 circles, and then I put the washi tape on. And I layered the washi tape on top of each other, and you can actually kind of see what's underneath it a little bit. It just gives it a different look. And then I did another card exactly the same, only I used the embellishments that I had put on Sahara Sand cardstock, cut out. But you can see the different looks that you get. These are both the exact same colors. Now hopefully you can tell. I think you can. These have a border around them. And they pop a little bit. They're a little bit brighter. And you can definitely see the definition of each flower. And so when it has the cardstock on the back of it, you can use dimensionals with it. You don't have to just use, I mean, with the washi tape, you just put the washi tape on whatever you're putting it on. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just a different look. But so those are the exact same cards done. One with just the cutout pieces and washi tape. And then the one with putting it on cardstock and then cutting it off. So, okay. I wanted to show that. Now we're going to get into a couple of other things. Let me grab some white cardstock. All right. Here's a piece of white cardstock. So I'm going to show you what I mean when I say, wait, how you do this. So these are like, well, they say they're 3 1/4 wide. They're probably 5 1/2 long. So I'm going to go ahead and take this end, and you can see how durable it is. Like, I am just like manhandling this here. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this end, and I'm actually going to stick it down onto this cardstock. And then the nice thing about this is you can pull it up. You have time to manipulate it. So if you get a bubble in there, but I'm going to take this and just take it across my project and stick it down. Now, when I get to this end, I personally like to cut this off. I think it's pouring rain out. I can't tell, but it sounds like it. It's rained like every day. The washi tape is gorgeous, Sylvie. It's beautiful. All right, so once I've done that, then I'm going to pull this up a little bit because I don't want to waste any. It's my first roll, you know, I don't want to waste it. All right, so then you have this washi tape on this piece of cardstock, and then this is the fun part, is that this die fits right over the top of that, and we'll cut them all out. So, thanks, Diana. All right, so what I'm going to do is, I actually line up my die where I want it, grab some, all right, where's my tape? Where's my Post-it tape? There it is. See, I should really prepare. This afternoon I should have been getting ready, but I was too busy having fun, which was kind of getting ready because I'm showing you what I did. All right, so you're going to take the washi tape and line that up, and I'm just going to stick down that Post-it tape and run this through the machine. I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out the other end. All right, so here is the piece, and you can see they just pop right out. So you just do this, pop them all out, and take the tape off. And then you see you have all these pieces, and they're beautiful. They're just really, they're beautiful. So I'm going to end up with like buckets full of cut up flowers because I think they're gorgeous. Save this piece, at least save one of them, maybe two, because I'm going to show you something to do with that here in a minute. All right, so that's how you can cut them out. And then these do have a cardstock basic white backing on them. So I could use adhesive or I could use dimensionals. Either will work. Yeah, I do too, Karen. I love that they're all together. All right. Another thing that people are doing, say for instance, you want to do, I want to cut a bunch of the washi tape out. I want to use them as stickers, but I don't want them stuck to my plate. So take a little bit of wax paper. We're going to lay that down. I mean, it's amazing what demonstrators have figured out. All right, and then they share it, which is awesome. So then you're going to take this, and I'm going to put this on the wax paper. And trim this off, because I don't want to waste any. And I am just cutting it off, if you can't see, I'm just cutting it off where the next color combination starts. So this is what you've got now on wax paper. And then you're going to take the die, line it up. Might have a hard time sticking to the wax paper, but you'll end up with a bunch of stickers. They'll have wax paper on the back of them, but you can just pull that off. So years ago, we used to have washi tape. Okay, so now these are, and they're really, you know, they're really like washi tape. They all have wax paper on the back, and all you got to do is probably just poke it. Boy, it's just pouring out. Just start it and then pull those off. These will stay as stickers for as long as I need them to. Poke these all out. Put that in my washi tape stash. Here's one more in here. All right. So now these are all stickers, and they have wax paper on the back of them to save the sticky stuff till I'm ready to use them. So this was a much better idea for me than having them stuck, because I like, when I make cards, I like to make a lot. And so I would cut a bunch of these and then, you know, go sit while I'm watching some TV show or something and use those stickers. Some of the things you can do with washi tape stickers. All right, so like glass votive candles, you could decorate them with these washi tape. It'd be beautiful. Do all kinds of stuff with washi tape. You can put it on all kinds of stuff. Your water bottle. You could fix up your water bottle. All right, so now I've got a pile of these and a pile of that. I'm going to show you a couple of things. We'll take this piece first. So the stamp is big. The stamp is as big as the die. So this is the stamp on a big block. I'm going to go ahead and ink this up with black Memento ink. got that all inked up good. And then I'm going to stamp it. I think I'll go this way. Stamp it across my cardstock. I love this background stamp. I just think these flowers are so cool. And then stamp it again. And I've got a great background for a card. Black and white is cool now. Everybody does stuff with black and white, and it's, let me clean this off because I'm going to use different colors. But I love that as a background. However, I also love it colored with blends if you really want to make something kind of spectacular. So let me show you the black and white card that I did, or the black and white background card. And as you can see, I stamped it. This is just a card base. It's a basic white thick card base. And then I punched out using one of the punches. I stamped the congratulations. I punched the punch twice. So I punched it with basic white, and I punched it with, I think it's strawberry slush. Then I cut that in half. I don't know if I can't pull it up. Let me show you what I did. Let me grab the punch. It's just easier to show you. All right, so this is the punch that I used. You can do this with almost all of our punches, this particular technique. So I punched that out. And then I punched one. Oh, gotta have the punch. I was tossing the punch and keeping the scrap of paper. So I punched out two. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one, I'm going to cut it. You can cut it either this way or you can cut it this way. I liked it better this way. And then you're going to add a little adhesive to the part that you cut. And then you're going to line this up as thick as you want it. And kind of make a layer on that punch. I'm just eyeballing it. Oh, I'm using green glue so I can move it around. That's the joy of the multi-purpose glue. It gives you a little bit of time to manipulate and make sure that gets lined up. So that's how I did that. Super simple. And then I attached, well, I stamped congratulations. Here, we'll stamp with love. I got it right here. With love from that stamp set. We're going to attach this to here. My dog must be hungry. And attach this onto there. And then I just grabbed some flowers that I'd cut out. And they're the same images, like this one here is this one here. You could actually put them right over the top and they match up. The whole thing matches up because the die matches up. And I didn't do a whole lot. I just did a few. Kind of lined them where I wanted them. I did do this little one here. Like that. And then adhere them. On mine here, I adhered some directly to the card, and then these bigger two, I actually used dimensionals. But super simple. But I love the black and white background with that pop of color. So that's a fun technique. All right. Now, I'm going to save this because I'll use it for something else. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to basically do the same thing. I'm going to use Memento. Ink that all up. Stamp it on my piece of paper. Yeah, it's pouring rain. So it has been raining. My kid said that it was rained the whole time we were gone last week. I believe it rained and snowed the whole time I was gone to the Netherlands, where in the Netherlands, you know, the weather was gorgeous. It never rained. It was absolutely beautiful. Everybody kept saying it was unusual, which was nice. And then last week in Disney, it was 95 degrees and it was a heat wave, and they hadn't had weather like that since the 1930s or some ridiculous thing. This time of year. Anyway, All right, so then I'm just going to color this with blends. And I just grabbed some colors that I like. Fresh Freesia, soft sea foam, and I think I'll do a little yellow. And I just colored my flowers in using the blends. And you know I'm a sloppy blends colorer, but this stamp set lends itself to being kind of sloppy. So I'm gonna be, I think I'll make this one purple too. And then I'll do some yellows. So I could do a whole sheet of these and color them and then cut them out and have a bunch of little embellishments that were actually hand colored. So that is kind of fun that you can do, you know, different things. The other thing I've noticed recently is that black and white embellishments are pretty popular. So like putting like this, but having, you know, if you're doing a spray of flowers, having some of them just be black and white leaves. So it's kind of cool. So this is the Fresh Freesia, light and light. I just did 2 lights. Sometimes when you add the light over the top of one that's dry, you get a 3rd color. And I like that look. I like that blend look. You could go in then with a darker one if I wanted to, and then just add a little bit in there. I love blends, but I don't want people to complicate them because they're not complicated. They don't need to be. And then I'm going to use the soft sea foam for all the leaves, which is a lot. So I probably won't color them all in, but you'll get the idea. So this is light, and I can go in with the dark, do a little blending. Oh, this is dark. Sorry, this is light. Oh, anyway. Let's still add a little bit of color. Because we're going over that that other shade, it's like layering the ink on top of each other. So it's a real subtle blend, but super easy. All right, so I'm going to show you what I did with the card. So colored the whole thing. I didn't really like the white space, so I took a black marker and added dots, just because I could. But kind of a fun look. You'll notice in the background I used the soft sea foam ink, and I stamped this stamp in the background and made it just a real subtle background. Now, what I'm going to do with that, I'm going to show you something else that I wanted to play with today, and I didn't get a chance, so I'm going to play with it tonight. So it's this set here. I mean, I just pulled it out, but it's more messages. So this is a stamp set and a die. And what this does is you stamp this stamp set down, and then you can cut them out with this die, and you'll have all those sentiments cut with different kinds of labels. And again, like I said, I haven't even used it yet, but about 5 minutes before I went live, I thought, oh, I could use that one. Because I was trying to find a sentiment that I would have liked on here, and I don't mind the sentiments that come in the set, but they're kind of little. And I wanted something a little bit bigger and bolder. And I wanted to do it in black with white embossing. So here we go. We're going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and use the back of this stamp. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this. So the flowers are on one side and the big rubber stamps on the other side. Sometimes I do that when I'm stamping things that I'm going to be back and forth. Let me grab some scrap paper because I'm going to emboss this one. And I don't want to have white embossing powder everywhere, which I probably will anyway. Let me get out my heat gun. Thanks, Jana. All right, so let me plug this in. I literally just decided, like, honestly, 5 minutes before. Oh yeah, I have that stamp set. Like I said, I haven't really been able to play much because I've been kind of busy. I think one of the things I'm going to do with this, and I don't use it very often, but I have kind of lately, is I'm going to use my stamp positioner. Those of you who have been around know that this was something Stampin' Up! Had a few years ago. Got themselves, I don't know, some kind of lawsuit. And it had to come off the market. That's all right. We're going to use it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and probably, I better move that out a little bit. I don't really want that to move though. All right. Sorry, I'm trying to think. I don't really want this cardstock to move because I'm probably going to have to stamp it. There, I'll just do that a couple times because I want to make sure that I get it good in Versamark. So now we're going to take this off. We're going to add the stamp on here. Nope, first we're going to use our, I got to get my fingerprints off that. All right, so I'm using the Embossing Buddy, which I think really is just a little, see, it moves, darn it. I really need that to stay. The joy of a stamp positioner is that you can stamp something several times with stamping on the same area. So I'm going to attempt this again. We'll see if that works. All right, so I'm taking my stamp and I'm laying it on my cardstock, right? And then I'm picking it up with the stamp positioner. And then I'm going to use the Versamark, and I'm just going to ink up the whole thing. My Versamark's pretty sticky, so I might be good, but it's such a big stamp. Stamp that down. Oh yeah, it looks good. All right, I'm going to do it one more time. Just for good measure, we'll do it one more time. And hopefully the paper didn't move. All right. So now this has Versamark on it. I'm going to pull this off. Pull off the tape. Move this out of the way. Bring in my paper. Bring in my white embossing. All right, Diana, I love hoping they will come out with a new one. Yeah, I don't know if they will, Diana. So there is one out on the market that the original person did. And that's the one that everybody's in a lawsuit with. Even though people did them and they're a little bit different, they're not exactly the same. It is what it is, and I think Stampin' Up! Just won it out. So, this is, right there, I just had a little bit of the Versamark go like over the edge. I caught an edge is what they call it. The caught an edge is a skiing term too, which kind of cracks me up. But you can catch an edge in rubber stamping. That's what I did there. All right, so once I have that ready to go, I'm going to take my heat gun. This is going to take a little bit. You're going to probably... Oh, Diana, I'm sorry to hear your plates are warped. I wonder how. And then heat this. Some people heat it from the back. I've always embossed from the front. I don't know why. Probably because it takes longer to heat it from the back of the cardstock than it does the front of the cardstock. And I'm always in a hurry. So I'm just going to emboss this whole sheet. So I love this idea of having a whole sheet of words. You know, I can just keep like a little, I don't know, clear Tupperware or something. and have a whole bunch of words cut out and ready to go for whatever card I need. You can do them in any color. I do like the emboss. I love the black on white, or the black paper with the white embossing. You have to be careful. You have to make sure you hit everything. You can kind of see where it didn't get melted. It's not shiny and puffy. And you got to watch your fingers so you don't burn yourself. I'll let you know, Diana, if I hear of it. I'm actually getting together with a bunch of demonstrators next weekend, and I'll ask them. All right, so here's my piece of cardstock, and I'm going to let this cool because I don't want to smear the embossing powder. It cools quickly and it hardens quickly, but if I lay this on top of it and then take it through the machine and it's not, it'll get mucked up. I had to take a drink. All right, so as you can see, these lay on top of that. This die lays on top of that, goes through the machine. Again, I'm going to tape it down, make sure I have it exactly where I want it, and I'll be right back. Because there's so much metal. All right. Remove my tape. These are so cool. I love it. I love this. All right. So there are all my, look at them all. I got tons. I hope this is really what I wanted for that card. No, it is. All right, so then I can just decide what I need it for. Look at how cute that is. Forever friends. You're simply incredible. You're absolutely the best. Oh, happy day. Lots of different shapes and sizes. I'm going to do that one. That one's cute. All right, so this one's going to go on with dimensionals. And I'm putting 2 on there because it's going to be attached to where the ribbon is. That is so cute. Boop! And there's my card. Super easy. Super simple. And now look at all these I have. Ooh, I can't wait. I have more to show you. All right. So that's very cool. Oh, is that the end? No, I got one more thing to show. I'll put those in there. Put that there. All right. I'm going to take this piece of cardstock. I'm going to make sure that this is clean. Let me find my cleaner upper here. All right. And I'm going to use, oh, I better put the cover on that. I've really got a mess going. This whole room. It's probably a good thing that it's a 3-day weekend this weekend and the weather's going to be nasty, I hope. And I can spend like a lot of time. So many things are happening right now and I was gone. So I've got club, I've got my monthly tutorial, I've got a retreat coming up next week. And so I've got piles everywhere. And lists, and it'll all get done. And by the end of the weekend, it'll all be organized. I will tell you, I haven't done a retreat. I haven't done a Stampin' Up! Retreat for people, since long before COVID. And I needed it for myself. I needed to be around people that like to craft and like to, any kind of craft. So the retreat is for anybody that crafts, any kind of craft. I don't care. Just come and have space and let's have a great day. And I'm kind of looking forward to it. However, sometimes you forget how much work they are. But that's all right. It's all good. All right, so I used Lost Lagoon on this. I am going to trim this down a little bit when I'm done with this next part because I didn't want to stamp it the other way because I just wanted to show you a really quick technique. So I'm using, this is just basic cardstock that I cut the dies out of, these dies. I could have used a bigger piece of paper too. All right, so I'm going to line that up. I'm going to bring in my Lost Lagoon and a brush. And I'm going to tape that down a little bit. Just because I don't want it to move. I'll just use this Scotch tape I got here. Hopefully that will be enough. All right. So sometimes I like to, oh wait, here. I like to use my craft mat when I'm blending. Now I'm going to move it. Now that I got it all taped down, I'm going to change my mind. Pick it up and put it on here because I want to be able to take some of the ink off the brush. And it's better to do it like on a craft mat because then you can still use the ink. I don't know why I'm having a hard time lining this up. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to get a little ink on there, tap it in there. I usually tap it off just because there's so much ink in there. And then we're going to put color onto this piece of cardstock. And it's just a different look. That's all this is. It's just something different. I think I'll just use Lost Lagoon. It gives you this fun background. All right, let me trim that edge off. Or maybe I won't. I think I'm just going to stamp it. What the heck? We can do that, right? I've already cut cardstock for all this, so if I do this, there we go. And then take my stencil and scoot it over. So you actually could take a piece of cardstock as big as what you needed and then cut your stencil. And again, the stencil you can keep for a long time. And I'll add more ink onto this edge. That's what happens when you already cut the cardstock and I didn't really want to have to trim everything. So anyway, there you go. Cool background. I think it's awesome. Now I could go in and go darker and darker and darker, but I'm not going to. I'm going to add some. So this is Lost Lagoon. This is going to get taped onto here. It's going to get glued because I just ran out of seal just before I came live, and I didn't really have time to add a new cartridge. I'm going to add this on here, but I'm going to trim it. I'm going to trim this one anyway because I didn't want too much on there. All right, so I'm going to trim off part of that. And I just trimmed off like not even a quarter of an inch, about an eighth of an inch, just to make it coordinate. And then I'm going to take this stamp, this cardstock. This is going to be my base. This is Pool Party. So I put Lost Lagoon and Pool Party because I love the monochromatic look. And once I've done that, I'm going to take my cloth. So I use chamois to clean my stamps with. So this is something I got at my auto parts store. It's huge. I cut it into like 6 pieces. I've had it forever. Once in a while I throw it in the washing machine just so that I can get them cleaned up. But it's just like our chamois that we have. Stampin' Up! Has a chamois for stamping that's purple. It's a pretty color. But you know, once you start using it with all your various black inks, it doesn't matter if it's purple because it turns black. All right, so let me see. Linda says the owner inventor of the Misty sued companies with stamp positioners who weren't even close to her. Yeah, we're not going to go there. So, and then Jan Larrabee, I finally was able to catch you in a live event. I have followed you for quite a few years and you are amazingly talented. Oh, Jan, thank you. I'm glad that you made it live. So I usually go live 7 o'clock my time on Thursdays. However, the last, 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks, I have not been around on Thursdays. However, looks like my schedule for the summer, I will be around. So plan on me being live Thursdays through the summer at 7. And I show all different kinds of things, Jan. Sometimes I have a really good plan, and sometimes I wing it. Ah, I knew those colors would look good together. Isn't that pretty? You guys don't have to compliment me because I'll do it to myself. All right, let me see what kind of ribbon I have that would look good with that. I wonder if this would look good. Nope. Too much. I don't know. I wish I had either Lost Lagoon or Pool Party, which I could actually ink up some ribbon and make it Pool Party, but because I don't have to have ribbon. Let's see what these look like. Ooh. Do you like that? Forever Friends? I think I do. Maybe I'll do a little strip. Let me see some here. We're going to cut this down. We're going to emboss this. All right, then I'm going to be done. I'm going to use this because this embossing folder is sitting right here. So it's the new pressed flowers embossing folder. This is what I mean about winging it. I'm just kind of grabbing things that are close to me. I should turn my camera so you can see my table, because it's unbelievable. And I just used a little piece of Lost Lagoon that I had sitting here. I'm going to trim this off. I'm going to make this a little tag, have a little ribbon look to it. Now, Stampin' Up! Just did a video with the gal that designed this pressed flowers suite, this that I've been using. And she actually designed this embossing folder to be used this way. So with that, the flat, it's indented, so it's debossed. I think that's funny. I like it. Yeah, I'm going to do this. I like it with the embossed side where it's raised. But you could use either. So add a little glue to this. Add that little tab onto my card. Find some words. I think I'll do this one. I think I know what I'm going to do. All right, so I'm going to do this and this. I'm going to add this onto here. And then, I'm not done yet, I'm going to take a piece of Pool Party I have sitting right here and stamp. There's a lot here. Lost Lagoon. Oh, it's just pouring. I said it was pouring, just pouring earlier, but now it's just pouring. Which is good. We need the moisture, as they say. All right, so now I've got this. Let me put this ink away before I have a mess. And now I'm going to take this, and I'm going to cut some of these out. I'll be right back. Coming over here. I got all these embellishments now. Oh, I like them. All right, so put those off there. We're almost done. I'm going to grab a couple. Let's see. This is going to get put on my card here. A little adhesive. And then I might add a couple of these. Let's see what I got going on here. I like this one. I like them all, don't get me wrong. Oh, this one and this one. I'm going to use these two. And I happen to have Pool Party sitting right here. So Pool Party cardstock, Pool Party markers. Let's see what it looks like. So yes, you could use your blends on regular cardstock, but I will tell you that with the alcohol in them, that cardstock just sucks it up. So it doesn't take much. You don't want to touch it on there too long because it'll spread right outside the stamped image. I'm just going to color, I'm going to totally monochromatic except for that black sentiment. And then we'll go with the dark Pool Party and just add some shading. Not too much, just a little. And always a dimensional. Like that. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, so then this one's going to go. I know somebody just commented, but I want to finish this card and then I'll look. So if you have any questions, now's the time to ask them in the chat box. If you're on my website, you could ask a question. I'll have to come, I'll swing by over there when I'm done here. I can't really see. Oh, I think I did this in dark. Oh no, that was light. I can't really see the comments on my website until after I'm done. All right. Not a lot, just some fun with that stamp set. And then, if you really want to make it pop, you can always add Rincastella. This one's almost empty. I got to get more. I'm just going to do the flower part, and I'll leave the leaves. There's not much in there. Anyway. Kind of fun, have more stuff cut out I can play with. So these are the cards I did tonight. Did I do another one? If I did, oh yeah, over here. These two. So lots of fun with, thank you for the compliments. Ada, I look forward to Thursdays, me time to relax and get ideas. Oh, I love it. I love that you come and watch me Thursdays. Cool. All right, ladies, I'm going to come back on screen. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter. If you're interested in any of my clubs, sign up. If you place an order, you get the free tutorial. Order over 50, you get a packet of supplies. Those packets went out before I went to Disney, I believe. Yeah. So hopefully everybody that ordered last month got their packet. If there are no questions, it's time to say goodnight. I will see you next Thursday. It might end up being the same thing. I might still be playing with them. We'll see. It's just so fun. You can just do so many different things and everything looks so different. So I hope you enjoyed that. Have a great night and I will speak with you soon. Take care.